In this recent video, I told you I would be replacing my American Express Gold card with the newer Blue Cash Preferred card. And while that is still the right choice for me, today I want to do a direct comparison of these two products to help you decide which is the best financial tool for you. Alright, first of all, let's talk about perhaps the most important comparison, and that is cost. The Gold card comes in at $250 per year, putting it on the upper end of that intermediate credit card space, while the Blue Cash Preferred comes in at $95 per year, with your first year's annual fee being waived. So just keep that in the back of your head as we work our way through these comparisons and examples. And I will clarify that we are talking about the Blue Cash Preferred, not the Blue Cash Everyday or the Everyday Preferred or the regular everyday credit card. Whoever named these products ought to be fired, but I did just want to clarify that we are talking about the Blue Cash Preferred and the standard Gold card, both from American Express. And I have done recent reviews on both of these products that you can check out here, so I will link to those down below the like button. Alright, so aside from the differences in price, the obvious big difference between these two products is that the Blue Cash Preferred gives you cash back, while the Gold card gives you points. What you do with those points is totally up to you, and that can get a little bit confusing, but for the sake of simplicity, let's assume for now that 1 point equates to 1 cent, meaning if you were earning 1 point per dollar on something, then you're earning the equivalent of 1% cash back. Alright, I'm about to throw a lot at you, so take it in as best you can, and don't worry, we will break it all down in more detail later in the video. So with the Gold card, you're looking at 4 points per dollar, or in our example, the equivalent of 4% cash back on all restaurants worldwide, including takeout and delivery services. You can also earn the same 4 points per dollar at grocery store purchases at US supermarkets on up to $25,000 in purchases each year. The Blue Cash Preferred card doesn't have any bonus category for dining specifically, so with that you're just looking at 1% cash back, but on groceries you're looking at 6% cash back on up to $6,000 in purchases each year at US supermarkets. The Blue Cash Preferred also gives you 6% cash back on select US streaming services, while the Gold card has no equivalent for that, so again you're looking at just 1 point per dollar in that category. The Blue Cash Preferred also gives you 3% cash back on transit, which includes taxis, ride-sharing services, parking, tolls, trains, buses, and more. And that language is pulled directly from the American Express website, so it clearly does not say airplanes, so I think it's safe to assume that you're not going to earn 3% on air travel. The reason I mention that is because the Gold card is going to give you 3 points per dollar on all flights booked directly through the airline or through the American Express travel website. That's all the bonus categories for the Gold card, so beyond that you're looking at just 1 point per dollar on all other eligible purchases. But the Blue Cash Preferred is also going to give you 3% cash back at US gas stations and then 1% on everything else. That was a bit confusing going back and forth, so in general, the Blue Cash Preferred gives you higher cash back with a lower annual spending threshold on grocery stores, while the Gold card gives you a higher spending limit on grocery stores and significantly higher rewards on dining. However, the Blue Cash Preferred makes up some of that ground with bonus categories on streaming services, gas stations, and stuff like that. And again, we'll come back to directly comparing all of these confusing benefits later in the video. Now, in terms of additional benefits, both cards are fairly simple, with the Gold card offering a $120 dining credit at select locations, including Grubhub, Cheesecake Factory, Shake Shack, and several others. You also get a $120 Uber Cash credit with the Gold card, which can be used towards Uber Eats or the ride-sharing platform, and both of these credits are given to you in the form of a $10 monthly credit, so unfortunately, you can't go out and spend all of that in one place. The Blue Cash Preferred, on the other hand, is going to give you an $84 Disney bundle credit, which includes Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus, as well as a $120 Equinox credit, which is a fancy gym that most of us will probably never use. So, just like the Gold card's credits, these are also going to be given to you as a $7 and $10 monthly credit, respectively. Beyond that, both products have the same standard American Express benefits, like the send and split benefits, the pay and plan it, which is a pretty terrible buy now, pay later feature that I would recommend you completely avoid, and of course, the pretty decent customer service that American Express offers for most of their members. I will mention that on the travel side of things, while both products do offer the car loss and damage insurance, as well as the Global Assist hotline, the Gold Card is clearly more travel focused, giving you access to the Amex hotel collection, no foreign transaction fees, baggage insurance, and obviously access to the American Express travel site where you're able to redeem your points. That's pretty much it as far as the feature comparisons go, so what does this all mean for you, and which product is right for your financial situation? Well, from a macro viewpoint, the Gold Card is obviously designed more for travel, although I wouldn't say that it is specifically a travel credit card, because it doesn't give you things like airport lounge access or anything like that. But it does give you points, and that's the first key to making the right decision for you. Credit card points are an entirely separate video, and I'll leave some helpful links down below the like button if you do want to learn more. But if you are going to get the Gold Card, or any other card that gives you points in place of cash back, then my biggest recommendation to you is to just learn how to maximize the point values. How far you want to go down that rabbit hole is entirely up to you, but honestly, with minimal research and effort on your part, you should be able to get 2 to 3 cents per point, which that alone changes this entire equation, because our 4 points per dollar at restaurants, for example, or 4% equivalent, then changes to 8 or 12% cashback equivalent on those specific categories if you're getting 2 or 3 cents of value per point. Again, I don't want to get too much into the weeds of credit card points, but as a general rule of thumb, if you travel, say, 3 to 5 times per year, then you'll likely be able to utilize your Gold Card's points in an effective way and cover travel expenses that you would otherwise have to pay out of pocket. And that, coupled with the strategic use of the 2 awesome credits that we mentioned earlier, means that you shouldn't have much difficulty justifying that $250 annual fee, but that is going to take some effort on your part. The Blue Cash Preferred, on the other hand, is way more simple and just gives you cash back in the form of statement credits, which means that as long as you are using this card responsibly, like it is cash or a debit card, that means you're basically getting 6% off of supermarket purchases, 6% off of streaming services, 3% off of gas, and the list goes on. You don't have to worry about point multipliers or transfer partners or any of that stuff, and if that's you, then you'd probably have a hard time justifying the Gold Card or any other travel credit card for that matter. That being said, the one area where the Blue Cash Preferred definitely falls short is dining. There is no spending multiplier or bonus category, and there's not even any dining-related credits on the Blue Cash Preferred card, so if you frequently dine at restaurants, then that doesn't mean that the Blue Cash Preferred is necessarily a bad option, but it does mean that you might want to consider pairing it with another card, which brings me to my last point that may make this choice even harder for you, and that is that the Blue Cash Preferred card and the Gold Card actually make a really good combination. Many people argue that the Gold Card and the much more expensive American Express Platinum Card actually are a great combination, but in my opinion, the Blue Cash Preferred and the Gold Card are a much better option and are much more affordable together. Having both of these products would cost you $345 per year, which sounds like a lot of money, but you're getting a crazy amount of cash back and point multipliers on groceries, streaming services, gas, dining, flights, transit, and really every major category is covered, plus you get some good entry-level travel benefits with the Gold Card. Compare that to combining the Gold and Platinum card, which would cost you nearly $1,000 per year, and there really aren't that many additional benefits unless you were traveling all the time. In fact, the Blue Cash Preferred and Gold Card combination at $345 per year is actually a better option than an entry-level travel product like the Capital One Venture X card at $395 per year. And that's coming from someone who has and really loves the Venture X card. Not trying to confuse you and give you more decisions to make, but just something that you might want to consider. However, getting back to the purpose of today's video, if you are new to the credit card space and you don't give a crap about credit card points and redeeming them properly, then the Blue Cash Preferred is definitely going to be the better option for you. However, if you're more of a novice traveler who's looking to take your credit card game to the next level and has at least a high-level understanding of how credit card points work, then the Gold Card shouldn't be too difficult to justify, especially if you're able to use those annual credits. And if you want the ultimate 1-2 punch that covers all major spending categories, then you can go with the approach that I am going with and actually use both of these cards combined together. But as always, that is just my opinion, and I'd love to know what you think of these products down in the comment section. You can learn more about both using the links down below the like button, and be sure to check out this recent video on the American Express Gold Card or this recent video on the Blue Cash Preferred. As always, take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one.